Hey teacher friends, I want to make a follow-up video to my first Flipgrid video and kind of show the specifics of one thing that I'm doing that's really, it's been working very well, at least this week, and I'm pretty excited about it, so I want to share it out. Efficiency is the name of the game in virtual school, I have come to find. There is so much work to do in terms of planning, prepping, creating content, having everything ready to go morning of. You know, it's not like normal school where the kids are in your classroom and you can just pull up next to them and kind of have a chat. You have to have content created for each individual lesson, and it's a lot. It's time consuming and it's a little bit crazy. So I want to share this thing that I'm doing with Flipgrid, which is kind of like a mini writing conference or reading conference. So I'll show in the terms of writing, but you can see how it could be used for reading as well. So Flipgrid is amazing. I've made my first Flipgrid video, and you can check that out. You can do just kind of for fun topics, which is great for what I've heard called moments of genuine connection. That's from a guy named Dave Stewart Jr., who I heard on a podcast recently, and he says it's really important to connect with those students, right? With all students, and track them and make sure you're making those moments of genuine connection. MGCs is what he calls them. So that's great just for commenting on their Flipgrid videos and connecting. But here's something that can double down on a moment of genuine connection, but also a teaching opportunity. Let me show you how I do that. So here you can see my split screen. I have my Flipgrid on one side and I have my conference notes on the other. I created a topic in Flipgrid called Author's Chair. I asked students to look in their writer's notebook, look at all their entries over the last 2 weeks, and pick something that they want to share with the class. Then they kind of give a brief description of what inspired them, and then they actually read a paragraph or, you know, half a page of writing. So all of my students have responded to that, almost all of them. So I have all of their responses here, and I've been viewing them one by one. And as I view them, I take some conference notes and then I reply. So I'm using this as like a mini conference, right? This is, I'm hearing what they're doing. I'm finding a compliment I can give them, and I'm finding a teaching point that I can kind of see what they're already doing well and take it to the next level. I'm keeping a note of that in my conference notes, and then so I can track that, right? I can keeping conference notes during when you're conferring in writers or readers workshop. So let me show you how I actually do this. I don't want to show any student videos because this is a public YouTube channel. So I'm going to show you my sample, my example, and show you kind of the process that I take.
Hi everyone. Today I'm going to read a little passage out of my writer's notebook that was inspired by Archer. He loves rocket ships, and I just was feeling like doodling one day, so I drew a little picture of a rocket ship, and that inspired some writing. So that's what I'm going to read. Archer is obsessed with rocket ships. He always builds them out of blocks, but they...
Okay, I'm going to pause here. So I'm pretending that I'm watching a student video, and I'm actually taking notes as I watch it. So I have this little, these 3 things saved onto my clipboard. So it's like I've copied that from another place, and it's always, so I don't even have to type in this part. I just hit Control V, and that'll paste this, I don't know, these sentence frames, these prompts. So here I write, what is this student writing about? Archer's rocket ship. And I would call that a narrative. Then I'm looking for a compliment and a teaching point as I watch this 1-minute video. So let me finish it.
They don't actually look like rocket ships. He likes to tell us about the different parts. There is always a slide and a playground for cats. Meow.
Okay, so if that was a real student, I might say the compliment would be writing about something you love. love. And then my teaching point might be how to develop that idea into a longer story. Okay. So now I reply to this student. Okay, so here we have, I'm going to start making my reply. I have my notes here. I know what I'm going to compliment, and I know my teaching point. So, hi, Caitlin. I just want to start off by saying thank you so much for sharing your writing. I loved hearing about Archer's rocket ship. I want to give you a compliment, and that is I noticed that you picked a topic that you absolutely love, and that's what good writers do. They think about things in their heart that they feel passion for, and then they can write amazing things about that topic. Now, I want to give you a suggestion that might take that writing to the next level, and that is maybe find a way to develop that idea into a longer story that has a beginning, middle, and end. Something you might do to start with that is write one sentence. What happens in the beginning with Archer's rocket ship? What happens in the middle? And what happens in the end? That way, you can get your idea out on paper, do some pre-writing, and then develop that story into a longer piece. Thank you so much for sharing. I'll talk to you soon. So now I click next, and you can review the video. Talking to myself, you take a selfie, and it gets posted. Now, the great thing about this, I'm actually going to delete all this. I don't want students to see it. There's a few amazing things about this. One, it's asynchronous feedback, right? You're giving individualized feedback and instruction to each student. You are... Something I miss about being in the classroom is when you pull up beside a kid and you start talking, and then all the other kids around you kind of be quiet and they start listening and they think, maybe I can do that too, right? You're having a conference with one kid, but it's kind of everyone around is listening a little bit. Well, a cool thing about Flipgrid is that these comments, everyone can see them, and they play on a playlist. So my students make their initial post on Sunday. I make all these teaching point comments on Monday. Then on Tuesday, the students go and view other videos, like their classmates' videos. So they click on their classmate, they see their initial post, and then they see my response, and it just plays automatically, like in a playlist. So that student who's viewing that video, not only are they seeing their classmate, but they're also seeing me teach something. And that is all done in less than 2 minutes. It's amazing. So you've seen how I've done this with a writing task and kind of taught into where they are as writers, but I can also do this really easily as a reading task, right? I could have them do a fluency passage, and then I could give a compliment and a teaching point. I could have them share some thinking about something they read. I could have them share their sticky notes. I could have them pick a page from their reader's notebook and read it to kind of share their thinking. This is a way to find out what they can do as readers and writers and then teach into that. And that's what workshop is all about, isn't it? And a couple of the other perks is that you don't have to do it live. So I know that sometimes when I'm conferencing, I struggle to think like, oh, what am I going to teach? What am I going to teach? I don't know. You have some time to think about it. You can run through your standards real quick. You can look at the learning progressions and think, okay, where is this kid now? And what's the next step for them? So it allows you some flexibility and in your preparation, right? Also, since I do viewing the videos and taking notes at the same time, I'm doubling down on my time. I'm being more efficient. I'm making the video, the reply video that says the compliment and the teaching point, and I already have that written down. So now I have a log of all the things that I'm teaching into and things that they're already doing well. So that's my formative assessment too, right? So I don't know, overall, it's amazing. It's great. If you want to chat more about it with me, I am so happy to do that. Let me know, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.